Boom, just like that every week. Here we are once again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, David Burrows. Great to have you back here joining us, wherever you're watching from in the world, or maybe you're watching the replay. However you are here, thank you very much for being here. Every week, of course, here bringing you some positive messages and some activities and entertainment and who knows what else, but whatever's happening here in Sarnia-Lambton. And we're going to get to our guests coming up in just a little bit. But the snow showed up, right? The snow finally showed up. And I don't know how long it's going to be here because I'm looking at the weather for the next few days. It's like -2, and then it's up to like 4 by like Friday. So I'm okay with that. I'm really not complaining. But when we've had it this good, it makes me nervous because it's like, wow, we've really had it too good. Like, we've got to get something, right? I hope you had a good weekend. And as I always like to say, welcome to the show and happy Monday. Happy Monday. Mondays are good days because it means you're starting a new week, right? So I know some people go, Monday, but I like Mondays. Get to talk to some great people, get to talk to all of you. Wherever you're watching from, as I tell you every week, we are simulcast throughout the world. We're live in our Facebook hub in Australia, United Kingdom, South Africa, all throughout the United States, and of course, here throughout Canada as well. So thank you to all of our Facebook hubs, and in particular, the live video hub. My friend Stephen Healy from the United Kingdom puts that together. We did our show earlier today. I was here on the Facebook page as well, also simulcast. And we talked about a lot of different things. We never know what we're going to talk about. We don't have an agenda. We really don't. That's bad to say because we teach people they should have an agenda. But on that show, it's okay to just wing it and we just have a good time. We did talk about Mexit. You know what I'm talking about, Mexit? Yeah. Meghan and Prince Harry officially leaving. They've made their announcement. And then I was just reading something. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I just saw something about how Prince Harry breaks his silence or something. So I don't know what's going on there. But wherever you're watching from, make sure you're watching from the Show with David Burrows Facebook page. We are on the Talk Show Network, the Radio Show Network. But in order to see your comments, we need to see you here. I just see my guest is getting a little organized. You're good. We'll get to you. Let's go to the comments. Like to do that all the time. My good friend Danny Cacciamilio. Good day, sir. And good day, sir, back to you. And Corinder says hello. And he's in the hospital. Sorry to hear that, but at least you got your mobile device. You're still able to watch with us. Very good. Now, you talk about snow. Well, first of all, the weekend, I didn't get a chance to get out, but the Silver Stick, the men's Silver Stick happened this past weekend. And I know they had some great successes there and looking forward to seeing that already come back next year. I'm excited because I was out to watch the women's the last weekend. You know what I'm saying? And did some PA announcing. And what great hockey. Just some great young hockey. And, man, they're just, it was just great hockey. I was sad that I didn't get a chance to go and see the men's. But congratulations to the Silver Stick organizers and all the volunteers that make it happen. They were honored and appreciated at the Sarnia Sting game. We'll talk about that coming up in just a minute. But first, if you're thinking like you're complaining about the snow that we've got here, let's take a look at what's happening out in Newfoundland and Labrador. Wow, they were getting like 10 centimeters an hour of snow, so much that the Canadian has sent in the troops. The Army has, I believe the Army has gone there to go and help things out. So I thought I'd just, like I say, if you're looking out in Sarnia here, in Sarnia-Lambton going, oh, snow. Well, let me make you feel a little better. Take a look at this. Look at how deep. Like nobody's going to work that. Well, I don't know if nobody's going to work. I guess you'd want to own a snowmobile or a 4x4 or something like that. I don't know. But look how deep that snow is. And wow, I just think I'm okay that I'm not there. I'm okay with what we got going on here, right? But when I see stuff like this, that does make me nervous because I wonder if it's going to come this. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. So feelings going out to our friends in Newfoundland and Labrador for that. All right. Well, talk about entertainment coming up every Tuesday night now. And I was there last week. Our friends from Beer Store Money are hosting things at the Blue Line, calling all open mic heroes. There's a lot of here in town. There's a lot of open mics going on. I've noticed that. Almost every night of the week you can find one. It seems to be more popular than it was, say, 5 years ago. But the Blue Line, I like to hang out there. Tuesday nights, open mic. Starts at 7 o'clock. Starts nice and early and goes to about midnight. And there was some great talent out there. I'm going to probably make it a regular spot that I stop at on Tuesday nights. So you could go out there as well. Bring your instruments and have some fun. Bring your harmonicas, whatever, and just go up and sing. They'll play for you and have some fun with them at the Blue Line. And they've got a great menu down there as well. We'll be looking forward to seeing you down there every Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. That happens. Now, here's one. Hillbilly Horseshoes. Do you know what cornhole is? Or maybe you call it, the beanbag toss thing, right? Well, Hillbilly Horseshoes or cornhole at the Moose Lodge. The Moose Lodge here in Sarnia on Phillip Street has a whole lot of fun. They do something 7 days a week. They have something going on at the Moose Lodge. If you're not a member, that's okay. But I would encourage you to be a member because it's like you probably pay more for your internet bill than it costs to be a member of the Moose Lodge. And great people, great fun. The Ian Smith duo is going to be there as well. Fantastic. Ian Smith. I'm going to go just for that fact because I haven't seen Ian in such a long time. It's nice to see him still rocking out. But it's fun all day. The sign-up sheets are down at the board at the lodge. You can just go in there and talk to them and say, hey, I want to find out more about this. And that's happening on Saturday, February 1st. February 1st. We're already coming into February. Hard to believe. February 1st from 2 to 5, Hillbilly Horseshoes down at the Sarnia Moose Lodge. Now, you heard me talk a little while back about starting a sports show, and I'm still working on that. I said by January. Well, I got some time. I'm still working on a few final details, we're going to go live from a location, and I had a couple of bumps there, so I'm still working on that. But it'll be called Sports Scenario, and myself, and I haven't announced the co-host yet. You probably have a good idea. Well, maybe you do. I don't know. But I'll be announcing my co-host is going to join me. Hopefully, it'll be every Tuesday night at 7:30, and we'll talk all local sports. We'll touch a teeny, like this, about this much on the pro stuff. But myself and my co-host had a conversation. We thought we really want to put a push on local sports. It doesn't get enough attention. And if you are a part of a sports team or you're a coach or you're a grandma or grandpa or whatever, and you want your team, however that's related to be talked about, reach out to me here on Facebook. If you're watching this program, you're on Facebook. And let me know, and we'll get in touch. And we want to make sure we can talk about, we're going to talk about 8-ball. We have a pool league, 2 pool leagues here in Sarnia. We're going to talk volleyball, badminton, tennis, whatever it is. If it's local, we want to talk about it. And I'm hoping within a couple of weeks, I'll be able to announce the official launch date for that. So coming soon, it's called Sports Scenario. Now, speaking of sports, we got to talk about the Sarnia Sting. And it is still more than a game. Good thing. They're having a rough year. And this is your Sarnia Sting recap brought to you by Oswald's Diner, more than a diner, and Active Ears Hearing Center, where better hearing begins with you. I've said it every week, and why can I not say it again? It's been a roller coaster ride for the Sarnia Sting and still having some struggles. And they just seem to be coming at this one goal. Just if they can just get over one more goal there. They would take on and host the Erie Otters here this past Friday. And they were looking for some revenge. Well, they're not just looking for some revenge. They're looking to get back in the game here because they're having a tough time. And they almost pulled it off until the final ending there. Erie Otters came out ahead. Final score there of 4-3. But I have to say, they were behind 3-1 in the first period, and then they would come out and tie things up. In fact, Theo Hill would get the tying goal to make it 3-3, just like that. And they held on, but unfortunately, again, at the end of it all, 4-3 was the final result. And then Sudbury Wolves, fantastic game. In fact, at one point, Sudbury was first to the board, and nobody had scored until 32 seconds left in the first period. Sudbury puts a goal in 20 seconds later, Sudbury scores again to finish off that period 2-0. Then they would come out into the second period. More exciting times again. Right away, almost from the start, Jacob Perreault and Ryan McGregor. Perreault puts in the goal with an assist from McGregor. They score to make it, they get their one. It's almost deja vu, but for the other side. 20 seconds later, they score a goal to tie things up. And then there would be a battle again. Sting would fall behind, coming close, but as you can see, again, final score 5-4. And we caught up with Coach Darien Hatcher after the game. I think it's the first time that we've been able to talk to him all year, so we appreciated him coming out. But we're going to take you to that interview right now and take a listen to this. Just you'll see what I'm talking about, and then we'll come back. And then we'll get started with our guest in just a few moments. Take a look.
Your post game with Darien Hatcher. Darien, kind of a similar game to last night. I thought you guys get down by 2 after 1, do a good job in that second period coming back in the game, and then unfortunately in the third just kind of gets away from you.
Yeah, I think in the last month we've probably lost, 4 to 6 leads. I think we've been winning in the third periods of quite a few games here, and we can't close.
Shows the fine line, I guess. You get a goal, you tie things up, and maybe sit back just a little bit. I don't know why, but it shows how tight these games have been, and next thing you know, it's in the back of your net. Yeah,
no, there's no question. Like I said, we've been up in games, tied in games, whatever it is, and right now we just don't know how to close. We're struggling. Our confidence is low. And it's everyone. Our D-men take, unnecessary risks. Our forwards don't come back. Our goalies don't make a save when we need it. It's just a whole combination of things right now.
Moving forward here to try and get that confidence, just keep moving forward, keep working hard.
Well, the message is we're going to dig in, and if you don't want to dig in, let us know and you won't play. That's the message. That's what was said, and you have, they'll have the day off tomorrow, but you have 24 hours to think about if you want to be part of it or not.
You mentioned, the ability to close. You mentioned some of the things they weren't doing. Now, is it something you can learn, or is it just something you have to kind of, fight through and go through times like this?
Well, it's something you can learn. But with that said, you need the confidence to do it too, and confidence. It's not an easy thing to get when you don't have it, and like I said, we need that extra goal, or we need the goalie to make a big save for us, or whatever it is to get us going in the right direction.
It almost sounds like a chicken or the egg thing. It's hard to close without the confidence, but if you don't have the confidence, you're not going to be able to.
Well, yeah, that's the problem, right? We get leads, and then for whatever reasons, we stop doing things in a game, and as much as we tell them we want the next goal, they're hesitant to do it. And I know it's not that easy as just saying we want the next goal, but and it snowballs. And right now we're on a pretty good roll here.
Ryan setting the record today for most games played in a career for a guy. What has he meant to the team?
Well, he's been great for the organization. The whole time he's been here, he's represented the organization well, and on and off the ice, and he's been a great player for us.
He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's going to be, getting real excited about even something like this in the room. Is he still taking this in stride as well?
Yeah, no, I don't know. Everyone's pretty disappointed right now. So I have honestly, I'm not sure how he's feeling right now.
Has the league set a date for hearing on Jameson?
They just kind of do things on their own time here, so no, there's no date set.
All right, well, you can see a bit of the sadness coming from Coach Darien Hatcher of the Sarnia Sting. And I don't know if you caught that at the end. One of the other fellows from the media was asking about Jameson Risa. So on Friday, Jameson Risa had been off with some injuries. He came back out. It was really hot for 10 minutes. And then actually he played for all 11 minutes and 51 seconds after being off for weeks, and then was given a 5-minute penalty and a game misconduct for a head check. I don't know if they call it a head check, but brutal hit, and he's been known for that. And unfortunately, he just got back and went away, and that is something that's been hard for the Sarnia Sting to have to deal with. And you saw Darien Hatcher when he was asked, he's like, "Well, they'll just let us know. There's no timing on when they got to let you know." A couple of games gone, but people are guessing anywhere from 10 to 15 games being off, which is really going to hurt the Sarnia Sting. So there you go. That's your Sarnia Sting recap. Once again, brought to you by Oswald's Diner and our friends at Active Ears. We do appreciate their support around here as well. All right. Well, lots of things happening in Sarnia, not just sports. You've probably heard of Rotary, but have you heard of Rotaract? Oh, well, we're going to talk about that. Our first, our guest here today, joining us as part of Rotaract Club of Sarnia-Lambton, Kurtis Lush. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, David. How's it going today?
Doing really well. And I know it's about time we connected, right? Because I know we see each other at a lot of things, and we've talked in passing, and then this really came to the forefront for me. So glad to have you here. As you heard me introduce you there too, I said a lot of people probably have heard of Rotary, but what's Rotaract? Tell everybody what Rotaract Club of Sarnia-Lambton is all about.
So the Rotaract Club of Sarnia-Lambton is a club for young people about the age of 30 and under that are looking to do some good deeds in the community. So we do deeds that involve like community projects. We also do things for international causes. We actually had a fundraiser back in October for a cause that we liked in Ghana. And our goal is just to do good deeds and be able to meet people that are like-minded and want to do good things around the community and around the world.
And it's nice to see this, I'll say, because, I mean, doing good in the community, whatever organization you're part of, is always good. But it was nice to see the age factor in this. I think that's what's a key point in all this, because, and I can say this because I'm friends with many people with Rotary, but the older generation, some have been around for a long time, as many as 40, 50 years in Rotary. And this seems to be something that was created to kind of rekindle younger folks like yourself, say 18 to 30, kind of refreshing that importance of giving back into the community.
Absolutely. And within Rotary, there's so many wonderful individuals that we're learning from every day. We do a lot of cross work with the different Rotary clubs in town. So we've had the opportunity to learn not only from them and to see their events and the kind of philanthropy they really enjoy doing, but as well, they've learned a little bit from us as well. We have a few different flavors on things that we like to enjoy doing. And it's been a really mutual partnership, and it's been really beneficial for both sides. So it's really nice to have an opportunity to work with people, as you said, from the ages of like 18 to 30. And the one interesting thing is that within that age group, there's so many different stages of life that happen. And we have kids all the way from the college age, for those just finishing and graduating university, going into the work field, from those that are young professionals, even to those that are starting families. So we have so many different age groups that come together and all do it for the sake of doing some good deeds in the community, and also just want to learn more about the city of Sarnia.
Yeah, well, I think it's great, and I like how you put it in there. It's a different flavors, right? Like there's the one cause really, which is to give back and support communities, not just locally, but local communities all over the planet, really. But you learn from each other, right? I would say probably, let's just say social media for one thing would be something that the older generation could probably learn from on how to promote things or whatever. And I've seen that grow on the Rotary side as well. So it's a good mix. And what kind of things though directly local? And I know there's a special program we'll talk about that just happened, but how did this really all get started? How long has Rotaract been in Sarnia-Lambton?
So it's been just over 3 years that Rotaract started. And what it really started as was just being able to do volunteering around the community. So we still enjoy every month doing little local causes, including like going to the Inn of Good Shepherd and helping out with different sorting. And also we made some soup kitchen meals just a few months ago at the inn. We've
Okay.
also done things with Pathways in the past, the Blue Water Health Hospital. We've worked up in the mental health wing a little bit. So we've done causes like that. We also enjoy doing projects though. And last year during the Christmas season, we did the Holly Jolly Christmas cards. And what it
Okay.
was for the Blue Water Health mental health wing for teenagers. We actually went up to one day and brought up a bunch of art supplies and such. And the teenagers there actually made Christmas cards that we were then able to sell, and all the proceeds went back towards the Blue Water Mental Health Wing. So it's little causes like that that we really enjoy helping with. And we've also done every year an annual toy drive for the End of the Good Shepherd. Not only is their Christmas programs just really crazy what they do, like including their kids' Christmas parties, their adopt a family programs, but as well they have the birthday program throughout the year. So they help out whenever a kid turns a different age, helping out be able to make a really happy birthday for those kids. So little causes like that we've been able to look at all throughout the community, and we've begun to look at the idea of making bigger programs, like things that while we do an annual different projects every year, we've also looked at doing different programs every year and growing the programs throughout our community.
Right. So this club, how many members do you have in the Rotaract then?
So we have just over 20 members in our club at the moment. And as I said, with everyone being different ages, it changes every year just because some people, they're going back to school or they're starting a different career or starting a different path in their lives. So it's always been a little bit different, but around 20 people.
Okay, well that's a fair decent number though actually, and those 20 people can get a lot done. And I have seen things getting done from the Rotaract. I've been quite impressed by the interaction in the community actually, and I think it's great that again to go back to the age demographic in there. It's nice to see that because I do think that there's been, at least there was, some gap in the importance of to the younger generation, being a part of the community as well. Which really, that's a part of it as well, isn't it? Is that you as members, you're giving back, but you're really getting back from the community just by being, I guess, an active member of the community.
Oh, 100%. And, a few of us are coming back from university and, like including myself, when I first left, I didn't know if I'd ever be back. I went off to school. I actually ended up living in a few different countries across the world and traveling. And when I got back, I knew I really wanted to be involved in the community. So it's been really awesome to see not only community initiatives and so many of them throughout Sarnia-Lambton, but as well, even for professional development. I'm really fortunate to say I work with the Indigo Shepherd in town, and I have really wonderful employers, and I'm given a lot of opportunity to do different things. But with Rotaract, I'm also given the opportunity to do some things that I might not be able to do at work, but I'm able to practice on until the day I get to be able to do that in my career. So even being able to run program and run projects and learn the really important skills necessary to be able to do these things, it's really great for my professional development. And I know those that work with me, they feel the same way.
And now it's not just Rotaract in Sarnia-Lambton, like there's other Rotaracts throughout the world, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it's about 190 countries in the world have
Yeah.
Rotary. So Rotaracts in many of those countries. And actually, back in April, I took a trip back to Ghana to check out an old project that I was doing. And while there, I actually met the Rotaract clubs there. And it's
Okay.
amazing just how many young people are trying to get involved in their local communities. In a place like Ghana, while it is a developing country, they're really emerging and they're really having their middle class and all their young people that really want to help out and give back, especially to their villages. So those that come to the bigger cities and see what they can do when they all work together. It's really amazing to watch what they can do when they go back to their communities and villages to be able to give back to them.
Well, you bring up an interesting point there because I think, if you talk about communities that have grown over the years, and we're really going through a generational change right now. And you mentioned, that you were away and you weren't sure if you were coming back. I sort of sense that you wanted to, but where does the opportunity lie? And I guess in your position at that age group, 18 to 30, if you want to be able to come back here, you need to help build this community that essentially becomes yours if you come back.
Most certainly. And like the thing with the projects we're doing right now is we're trying to find the type of issues and needs that there are in the community. So the newest project that we've gotten started over the last, this weekend was the first weekend we were officially able to go out, but we've been working over a year on an Adopt a Driveway program here in Sarnia-Lambton for seniors that are in need. And one of the things that we noticed about a year ago is the idea of saying like, let's grab some shovels. When it's snowing, let's go knock on doors and try to help some of the seniors in our community because I know everyone listening knows at least one individual that could really use a program like this. And we weren't originally thinking about being a program, but we just want to make it a good deed. So we want just when it snowed, we look outside and hopefully it never snows as much as it did in St. John's down here. That'd be a little bit tougher.
You need
But
some more
that's with the
shovels.
snow. Oh yes, more shovels, maybe a snowplow or two. But we were originally looking at the idea of just going around the neighborhoods and knocking on doors and asking if people needed help.
Yeah, why not?
And through those conversations, all of a sudden, we started talking with one person, and there's like, the city of Sarnia is really looking at doing something like this. They're really looking at trying to build a program in our city that works on being able to coordinate a bigger program to help seniors in our community. And that's
Yeah.
where the conversation really took off. And I'll tell you, over the last year, from where this conversation started to where it is now, we've now been able to establish a program for this. So it's been really amazing.
It really has been, and of course I'm part of the Age Friendly Sarnia committee, right? And who's a part of collaborating with the partners that came on board with this. And it was just a great idea from the start. It just made sense, right? And obviously some other people in the community recognized the importance of this, because you were able to get it was $15,000, right? A grant from the Sarnia Community Foundation and the RBC Foundation.
Yeah, so about in September, we had heard about this opportunity and we thought it was really great. At the time, we didn't know what we were going to work with. We thought it was really going to be grassroots and getting it started. And this opportunity came up to make a financial request from RBC and the Sarnia Community Foundation. And we were shocked. We had initially asked for about $9,000 and we were rewarded with $15,000 for the project. So it's been a really big blessing. It's been amazing to see what kind of impacts and what kind of contributions the community has been wanting to make into this project. We've also been offered up some shovels and salt from Home Depot as well to continue building the project. And the sky's only the limit right now of what we were able to do. But there is one big challenge that we're facing, and that is for volunteers. It's to be able to build the foundations of what we're going to be able to work with going forward. When we started this, we initially said 20 because we want to see just how that will work. We know the demand's out there. We know there's so many people in need of the program, and we hope to be able to keep on growing the program. But right now, the main focus that we're looking at is to be able to build a volunteer base. We have about 15 to 20 volunteers right now to cover the driveway. So on average, that's a person per driveway, but most individuals will take on 2 or 3 driveways. I know I did my 3 yesterday, and and it was icy. I have to admit, I was at an event Saturday afternoon and evening, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to get out when I wanted to be able to get there. So I arrived yesterday morning, just grabbed a bag of salt and just went down the driveway, made sure it was all good to go, came back later in the afternoon and was able to shovel it all. But in order to grow the program, when you have people doing about 2 or 3 driveways each, we need to make sure, number one, that they got maybe 1 or 2 people to cover them in case they have a sick day or in case they just can't make it up that day. And the other thing we're looking at is if we're going to expand, to make sure that we're not saying to an individual, okay, now you're taking on 5, now you're taking on 6.
Right.
Because
wait a minute.
If they're getting to the icy ones, I mean, yesterday at one point I was with an ice pick just going at the end of the driveway to make sure that we could clear it out. So it does take a bit of a hardship on a body when you're doing so many driveways. So the main focus we're looking at right now is to keep on building that volunteer base. And it could be anybody in our community that's interested in becoming a volunteer. We have 20 driveways throughout our community that we're looking to have volunteers assist with, and we're looking to grow it. If we see the volunteer number keeps on growing, we're going to keep on offering up more and more driveways in our community.
Right. Well, I would think, and do they have to be between 18 and 30 and a member of Rotaract to be a volunteer? Like, could this be community hours for, say, somebody in high school?
So this could certainly be for someone in high school. And one of the things that we've noticed with the program is since we began the program a year ago to now, we realized that it has kind of taken a life of its own. You know, we have seen this demand and also this support from the community that we realized that as the program keeps growing, we originally wanted to be that the team leads, the people that led the driveways were under the age of 30. And we're hoping to keep it that right now, but there is opportunity not just to do this in Sarnia, but to do this in Port Lambton, to do this in Brighton Grove and Corunna. So as we grow the program, we're more open to the idea of being able to spread out the ages. The biggest thing, if a person wants to take on a driveway, we do have a requirement of a police check, and that's not from us. It's from the Lambton Outreach. they're our main partner in trying to pair us up with seniors, and they've been
Yeah.
very wonderful so far. Be able to pair us up with seniors that are in need of this program. And it's just for not only the safety of the senior, but the safety of yourselves too. It's to be able to have that mutual understanding that both sides are wanting to work with each other. And that's our main requirement if someone wants to take on a driveway. But if you just want to help out with the driveway and be like, maybe I could do this time, but maybe not the next time and such, you can go on and join in with one of our team leads on the driveways.
Right. Maybe I'm not the shoveler. Maybe I'm just passing out salt on the driveway or something. But that'd be my job.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everyone has an important role for sure.
But there you go. Well, and again, and by doing this, of course, you know, it sort of comes full circle. Is not only you're helping seniors in the community, but as people do this, it might reteach them the importance of going along and giving back into the community and be a part and walking away and going, wow, you know, I really, and I'm sure a lot of relationships will get established through this over time.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I'll tell you, with the 3 driveways I have right now, every situation is a little bit different. Every circumstance comes at a different opportunity to work with these individuals. We've had individuals when we met with them that, you know, maybe it's the husband of the family that's for years shoveled his driveway, but unfortunately had 1 or 2 surgeries that have just made it hard for him to be able to do. And they still want to help where they can, but they can't do the whole thing. So we're trying to work with all different types of seniors in the situation. And the relationships that we're hoping to build are ones that trust. And I know on the first meeting with a few of them, there was, at some points, like there was gratefulness to be there, but a little bit of hostility to try to like welcome someone new and welcome a new relationship in their lives. But even after yesterday, I can tell you that from the first time I met most of these individuals to today, just already the relationship that's already been built.
Yeah. Well, you're a fun guy. Who wouldn't want to be friends with you?
I try my best.
And I like your way of thinking, and I'm sure it's not just you. I'm sure it's Rotaract Sarnia-Lambton, but you've really got a long-term vision with this. Like you mentioned, like let's expand this into Brights Grove and just Corunna and like surrounding areas, right? Because I have trouble shoveling my driveway, so I can imagine somebody, and I'm not in a terrible position. I just don't feel like doing it, right? But imagine somebody in that position where, and it might only be temporary, right? Or their children don't live here; they have moved away, and so they're not here to take care of things. It's going to see a really positive impact in the community.
I know the age-friendly initiative, one of the big things that it's trying to focus on is that over the next 20 years or so, the city of Sarnia's demographics are really, really, really going to age. And this is a problem that I think across the board, there's changes in our community that we need to make in order to adjust to that. And this is one of those programs that, as we get started now, it might be a little slow of growth, but the goal is to make this sustain, because we know as the society gets older and such, that this program is going to be more and more needed. So we're going to take our time with the growth on this program and make sure that we're able to not only provide a very quality service, but as well, as we grow out to these different community areas, as we keep on building the volunteer base and such, that this could be a program that is going to last for a long time, even past my time at some point. You know, I'd be happy if I was 40 years from now and someone was able to do my driveway and be like, huh, I guess that really worked out, didn't it?
What a great idea, young fella.
Yeah, what a great idea. I wonder who thought of that. But I'm really thankful to the team I have. The members of Rotaract have been really wonderful. Especially there's one member, Dylan White, who the last few months he's been in police training, became a sergeant just a few weeks ago. He was one of the main people that came up with the idea. And I've been extremely grateful for his partnership and helping me understand where we want to go as a club for this program and to be able to help build it. So just a shout out to Dylan White. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Now, what would you say to somebody that's, you know, thinking about joining, they're fitting into that age group, or maybe they're, you know, let's say 18 to 22 just for a moment, because I think there's some shyness that goes on. You know, it's like, well, I don't know anybody and I don't know who to talk to, and I'm going to go and I'm not going to. What would you say to somebody who's like, I'd like to be a part of something, but do you know what I mean? Like they're having that little hesitation on like, why Rotaract?
Well, the biggest thing I'd say to them and it's a hard thing to say sometimes, but sometimes it's just taking that first step, right? By initiating the conversation, they've taken the first step, and just to come on and check us out. We try to make it really easy on the first meetings, especially is we have meetings from time to time, but a lot of times we want to volunteer while we're there. So if you're going to leave the meeting with anything that you remember, it's usually going to be the volunteer experience that you had, right? And the opportunity to be able to meet other people that also want to keep volunteering. And you're likely going to meet one or two people while you're at the meeting that have the same interests and passions that you have and want to help out the same cause. Like I can tell you, there's been an array of different ideas and people coming with different passion projects that what they want to bring forward to the table to help the community of Sarnia-Lambton and also different areas of the world. We have a few environmentalists in our club that really want to work on making Sarnia a greener community, while there's many great initiatives to keep going with that. So there's so many different opportunities and so many different like-minded people that want to come together. So for those individuals in university and college, especially at Lambton, that just want to see, is there more people like me in the community a little bit? This is a perfect opportunity just to come on out and try and to come see. And if the club's not for you, you can at least walk away saying, you know what, today I helped someone. And that was really cool.
Yeah, it is cool to help people, isn't it? What a great concept. If people want to find out more, so we got your website up there, and I know you're on Facebook. When do you meet?
So we traditionally meet on the first Wednesdays of each month. It's usually around 7 o'clock. Our locations usually vary each month, so we keep on changing up the place, but we usually meet the first Wednesdays at 7 o'clock. All
right. Well, I'm over 30. I know I probably don't, you wouldn't have guessed that, but I might, yeah, whatever. I might just pop by one night just to say hello and see what you guys are doing. And I hope you'll keep me informed, put me on a media list or whatever, just to keep me updated on things, and I can put it out here. And let's have some of your other members back here on the show to talk about what they're doing and how Rotaract Sarnia-Lambton's been good for them as well.
Absolutely. We'd be glad to have you. And anytime you want to drop by, we'd be happy to have you.
That's great. Kurtis, before I let you go, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy day. Is there anything final you want to put out there, those who are watching?
I just want to say to those who are watching that, there's a lot of great things happening in Sarnia-Lambton right now, especially for young people. There's a lot of great things that young people are doing. And I know for this program, particularly with the snow shoveling program with the Adopt a Driveway, we're only hoping to grow it. And I know that there's so many people that have reached out to us already asking if, their grandparent or their parents can join the program. The biggest way that we're going to grow this thing is if we get more volunteers to help out and give a helping hand. Even if you see a neighbor across the road that needs a helping hand, giving that helping hand, it's going to make your day. I ended up taking a picture at the very last driveway I did yesterday. Just remember this first day of the program, because for me, it was really important and it was really cool just to have that moment yesterday.
Awesome. Kurtis, congratulations to you and the members of Sarnia-Lambton Rotaract for all that you're doing. And we've put it out there now. We're expecting great big things from you guys.
All right. Thank you very much, David, for having me on today. I really
You're welcome back anytime. Have a good day. Kurtis Lush from Sarnia-Lambton Rotaract. What a great idea. Adopt a Driveway program. I'd heard about this a few months ago, and I was glad to see that it was coming to light. And again, what a great conversation that we just had there with Kurtis about the younger generation getting involved and showing that there's an importance to giving back into the community. And it does just feel good for that. So we'll be hearing more. I'm sure Kurtis will stay in touch with us for sure. Once again, here is their Facebook page. You can see them at Rotaract Sarnia-Lambton on Facebook, and their website there as well. Yeah, rotaractsarnialambton.org. And if you're still wanting to pick up a telephone, they got a phone number you can reach them at as well. And congratulations to them on the Adopt a Driveway program, receiving $15,000 from the RBC Foundation and the Sarnia Community Foundation as well, and Age Friendly Sarnia, a collaborative partner in there as well. All right, well, I'm going to go over to the comments because I didn't get to them a little too much. Okay, Barry says, going to the Sting game Sunday on the suite level. Looking forward to the game, hoping for a win. Yeah, for sure. I'll be up there in the media box. I'll keep an eye out there for you, Barry, and we'll say hello to each other. And Corinder, thanks for being out there. Barry also says, wow, what a great program, for sure. And who else we got? Oh, Ronnie Fraser. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for stopping by. And thanks to all of you for stopping by. And before I go, I want to say a very special thank you to our sponsors who give me support here on the show to keep us going. From day one, 8 years ago, they came on board. AG Event Graphics. You can find them online at askguy.ca. They do banners and tents and signs and car wraps and everything else. Check them out online. And make sure you tell them you saw it here. Thanks to Kevin and Guy down there at AG Event Graphics. Joe's Discount Tires. I've been warning you about getting your snow tires, and the snow showed up. I told you it would, right? Go down and check out Joe's Discount Tires. They're located just before the overpass at the bottom of Indian Road here in Sarnia. And Oswald's Diner, not just another diner, home-cooked food. I'm there often, and I really appreciate I really like the shepherd's pie. But everything's good there. And the soup, I've become a fan of the soup there as well. So thanks to Oswald's for their support here. And Active Ears Hearing Center, Christine Fiji for her support. Better hearing begins with you with Active Ears. And we want to give a shout out to our friends, United Way. We're congratulating them as well on reaching their needs target this year. Dave Brown will be back in February and every month to give us updates for all of that. And if you don't want to look at me for whatever reason, but you want to take me on the road with you and just listen, anywhere there's a podcast, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, you name it, this broadcast will be up there in audio format within 24 hours. And I think that's it. That's all the time I got for you this week, everybody. Have a great week and an even better weekend. I will see you next time right here on the show. Bye for now.